We're in, man. We're in. That's all I ask, right? I, like a lot of people, did get wrapped up on what our seating was going to be, who we were going to play. You're in, all right? And I think it worked out about as good as you could have asked. You get a semi-favorable matchup against the Orlando Magic. You avoided some of the other teams that maybe you want to avoid. You have home court advantage for at least the first round. You had to wake up this morning, Ryan, and some people are upset with how the Cavs played yesterday. But in reality, you, me, and everybody knew what yesterday was. And when you hear the word tanking, you usually think about draft picks. And we have teams in the NFL that tank. NBA tries to curb it. They don't. But the Cavs did what they needed to do yesterday. So that's why I'm a little surprised that there are people upset this morning with why the Cavs and how the Cavs played that game yesterday. And the outcome, people are trying to grasp at straws, in my opinion, to make some grandiose statement about the Cavs. They did what they needed to do. You know your matchup, and you get ready to go for the playoffs now. Round one, Orlando Magic, no questions about it. But we got to talk about why some people might be upset from that Cavs game yesterday. Guards! Yeah. Aaron Judge murdered that baseball.
Yeah, he did.
I haven't seen that in a long time. But you walk off the Yankees. Browns back in Berea today. Off-season program begins. I've got a couple interesting things on the Browns. I have a dueling mock draft. And we'll get to the three most important people this offseason for the Cleveland Browns. We'll get to the grid. We'll get to timeout. We'll get to all of it on a beautiful Monday edition right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside. We're in. Playoff starts Saturday for the Cavs there. We'll get to the play-in tournament games. We'll set our wagers for that. We've got our boost up for Tipico. Guards are at 11 today. It's the Boston Marathon Day. I think they celebrate Patriots Day today. I don't know. But they have the marathon today, so they're playing early out there at Fenway. So we'll talk a little Guards coming up. You'll be a little frustrated on how that weekend went. Are you still all in on the Guards? We'll get to that coming up. And like I said, plenty of Browns that I want to dive into a little bit later in the show. We start with the Cavs. And I just want to make this opening statement and question. To welcome it on Twitter, at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there. I'm at Matt Fontana 83. I got to get back over 20,000.
I'm almost at 1,000.
Dude, I don't know why it moves so much.
It's because of the porn bots, I'm telling you.
I'm 2 away from 20. Drop me a follow. At Matt Fontana 83. Help me keep a job over here. We're on Ryan's at Ryan Tyler 33. Get him to 1,000. And of course, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, all at Matt Fontana Show. All those places you can comment. If you are upset with that Cavs loss yesterday, why? Why? And I'm being extremely respectful when I ask that question. Because I don't see why you would be. And people, I'm going to try to play the other side of it, and this is going to be really hard for me. Because I don't feel that way. An ounce of my being has no problem with that game yesterday. So I'm really going to need people to help me understand why you'd be upset with the Cavs falling yesterday. It was the last game of the regular season. You had almost nobody. Evan Mobley was out there, but Donovan Mitchell did not play. I know Max Strus had a triple-double. Congratulations to him. You didn't play Garland. Jared Allen only played 23 minutes. Craig Porter, of course, got hurt, But the Cavs didn't care about that game. And I know that there was, 9 guys out for the Hornets yesterday? Like, they didn't play anybody. It was a meaningless throwaway game. And I know, because there were a lot of updates on Twitter as that game was going on, that you could have gotten up to the 2 seed, and you could have been here, and all these other games that played out, and the Knicks won, and all that kind of stuff. And I say that it was pretty obvious that the Cavs were fine losing in that game because they saw what everything else was playing out. And JB can never admit that. He'll never admit that. He's got to say they were playing every game. They did the smart thing and said, we got to lock into the 4 seed, which is why I have no problem with it for a couple of reasons. Yeah, you avoid the Philadelphia 76ers. Ryan, people that have a problem with yesterday's game might grab onto, well, you're running scared from some of these other teams. Yeah. Yeah. This is not some LeBron-led team where I don't care what the seeding is. I still feel like we're going to win. I'm a realist on where the Cavs are at. You need to avoid the 76ers. I would have liked to avoid the Heat, and you did that. That's number one. Number two, it is Orlando, and a team that has played you tough. JB talked a lot about it last night. They present a lot of problems. They have a lot of height. They have a lot of ways to stretch the floor on you. They got the Wagner brothers. Paolo Banchero is very good. And they play really good defense. So they present their own problems. I understand that. Then the final thing, Ryan, that I look at and might be the lost piece in all of this, you know who you're playing. You can get ready all week for who you're playing. Now, the same thing can be said for Orlando. I don't want to have to wait until, Wednesday, right, for the Eastern Conference. Tomorrow's the Western Conference, right, for the play-in tournament games?
Well, yeah, Wednesday, I believe, is Philadelphia and the Heat.
And then you got to do the second round of that. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for our lives. Okay, don't cut that. I don't know why that song popped into my head. Do you know that song?
No.
What? I don't even know who sings it. Is that Celine Dion? It was the intro. Oh, Paula Cole. That was the intro to Dawson's Creek. I know, way before your time. Way before your time. Sorry. I did not mean to scorch everyone's ears here on a Monday. You got to listen. You know that song. There's no way you don't.
I don't.
Okay. I don't want to. Sorry. I don't want to have to wait to see who you're going to play. I want to know. And with this Cavs team, I think some of the issues that people are having is that they look at it and maybe have a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a higher opinion. I'm saying that for lack of a better term. They have a higher opinion of the Cavs than maybe I do. Where the Cavs, they're going to need every break they can get. And they caught a lot of breaks yesterday by losing that game. You get Orlando. You know who your opponent is for the week. You can prepare for that. You still have home court advantage. And I admit, there was a time that I was chasing the 2 seed. And I was a team that I was like, all right, we're in this. Then you see how everything else plays out. And you realize that the 2 seed maybe is not all that important. And you could try to tell me that, second round, play or a home court advantage in the second round might be important. I'm looking at the teams you need to avoid. And they accomplished that. They avoided the Philadelphia 76ers, which I know a lot of people might be saying, oh, they're still washed, or it will then be. I don't even want to play that game. I don't even want to see them. They got to play the extra game. We'll get to the rest of the matchups, too, where it's interesting, because I know a lot of people are sitting there saying, what the hell did the Knicks do in all of this? But, I mean, I think it worked out just fine. I truly believe that I think it worked out just fine. The other team that's sitting there probably feeling pretty good is Milwaukee.
Well, yeah.
And I know that's a sexy pick for a lot of people to say first round upset. I'm still taking the Milwaukee Bucks in a 7-game series over the Pacers.
Yeah, over the Pacers, but I wouldn't have taken them over
76ers would have been a fight. That'd have been a dogfight for sure.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Hindsight's 20/20. Because the Knicks won, yeah, if we would have won, we would have ended up at a higher seed. We would have played Indiana, who I personally would have liked a better matchup than against Orlando. And then we would have avoided Boston in the second round, which is what everybody's really upset about. But you got to realize, you got to win the first round to get to the second round. And I said this before the seeding even ended. I would have picked the 76ers in a 7-game series against the Cavaliers. And I think a lot of people would have. With a healthy Joel Embiid, I think they match up well. I don't really think we have anybody that can contain him. And I go back to, you have to win the first round. People are all upset, but it's the same people that would be upset. Like, if we're going to go, I think the Knicks are going to go out in the first round now because they match up against the 76ers. And these are the same people that if the Cavs did match up against the 76ers and lose in the first round, then they'd be crying and calling for everybody's job, saying, trade this player, trade that player, Donovan's gone. But you got to win the first round to get to the second.
So here's the thing. That then comes back to expectations. You're right, Ryan, because I guess people that would be upset, if they advance from the first round, they're going to be negative and say, well, yeah, you beat the Magic. What were you supposed to do?
You can't win.
But then that gets back to, what is your qualification in this? What is your expectation? And then if things lay out that in the second round, I didn't really look at the bracket. Because, all right, let's say everything goes chalk. Okay? Playoff bracket. Who do we have in the second round?
We'd have the Celtics.
Celtics. That's right, because we'd be the 4 seed. You're right. Okay, right. And you could say if you got up to the 3 seed, then you'd either face you'd probably face the Knicks. Well, there too. It could have been the Bucks, but then you'd have to face the Pacers. I guess that would have been probably a more ideal situation, I guess. But if you're coming from I just wanted them to win a first-round series. We know there are changes coming. This offseason, there's going to be a lot of changes with this basketball team. Those, I believe, are already set in stone. And there are probably a group, too. And this, again, I'm trying to come up with arguments. Our question this morning is, are you upset by that Cavs game yesterday? Basically, are you upset that they lost that game? I'm not. Ryan's not. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the other side now. And you could say, that they need to win these matchups and potentially even win a second-round matchup, right? And winning that game yesterday actually would have created an easier path to potentially stave off some of these changes. We're talking about JB Bickerstaff. We're talking about maybe what Donovan Mitchell is doing. Because I'll tell you this, anybody that is trying to grab that game yesterday and say that that will somehow influence Donovan Mitchell's decision, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I get that the Cavs, it was part of a plan. And I think he understood that plan. I don't think this is an issue with Donovan Mitchell with his decision. And he's going to look at the totality of the season, which I get. I still think, unfortunately, JB, we've crossed that line. There's no going back. So I guess there could be people that are trying to jump into this team has not been playing great. They're in no position to be giving away games. I look at the bigger picture of it. I've got no problem with it. And I'm trying to understand people that are on the other side of it.
It's because they're going back to, okay, the Cavs aren't a serious team. They're ducking the Boston Celtics. Well, first of all, or I'm sorry, not their, but they're dodging the 76ers. Yeah, of course they are. They're probably outside of right now, I would say with the healthy Embiid, outside of Boston, I would say they're the second best team. And I think the way that they have been able to play without Joel, and now Joel's back, and they're got to that 7 seed, almost avoided the play-in totally. Yeah, I would say they're probably honestly the second best team in the East. So no kidding, we want to avoid them. And like I said, hindsight's 2020. If we knew that the Knicks were going to win, and we still managed to lose that game, yes, then that would be embarrassing because we totally just screwed that up. But the reality is, at the time the Cavs won, sorry we weren't scheduled an hour later. We didn't know that the Knicks were going to win. And the Cavs, like you said, we aren't LeBron team. He's not on here. We don't have the luxury of not worrying about who we're playing. We know we're going to the Eastern Conference
Finals.
We very
much have to worry.
More likely the finals. We very have to worry. And I'm fine with it. I'd much rather win this first round and then bow out to the Celtics in the second round than take the risk that we play Philadelphia and lose in that first round.
But what does that? I'm just asking the
question.
That's
why people are upset because they go.
What does that do? Right? Exactly. What does that do? And that comes back to what were your expectations before the season? A lot of us wanted what? A top 4 seed and to erase that hell that was the Knicks series. By the way, we'll get to time hop later. Guess what 1 year ago today was? The opening game of that series. It's all relative on what you view for this team. I don't see them as being a title contender this year. I would love to be proven wrong. I know what is coming down the pipe. I know what this team's got to do in the offseason. So with that being said, I feel like there's a lot of things in motion, Ryan. And there's some things that we cannot change. One of those, the coach. The other one's Donovan Mitchell. Then the sprinkling off the Mitchell stuff is who else might get moved, extension. All of that is inevitable. It is Thanos. Inevitability is what you're facing. So you might as well win a first-round matchup.
And that's what
you might as well win a first-round matchup while you're at it.
And like I said, yes, if I could go back yesterday and tell JB Bickerstaff at the time that the Knicks are going to win, which that's crazy to me.
Which, again, a lot of people are looking at that, what a mistake that was.
Right,
sure.
I would have said, yeah, totally win this game because then you get the Pacers and you don't have to play Boston in the second round. But the reality is, you didn't know that. I'd much rather get that bad taste from last year's first round out of my mouth than had to risk playing the Sixers because, like I said, I wouldn't have been confident at all. You wouldn't have been confident at all. Everybody in the world probably would have picked the 76ers. I would rather not bow out in the first round again and get that first round playoff win because, like you said, yeah, I don't expect this team to ever beat the Celtics this year in a playoff series. I probably would pick the Bucks over them in a playoff series, and I think the majority of people would. And like you said, it does go back to expectation.
Well, here's the other thing: what if you win that first round matchup and then you just get a little scrappy with the Celtics and win a game or two, right? Then maybe you feel better about where this offseason goes. Am I already kind of chalking up this playoff run? I'm in it for the ride. We'll see where it goes. But if you can gain some of that experience, flush out that Knicks series for some people that you know are going to be here, right? Jared Allen is probably number one on that list. Get last year out of your mind, get a little playoff experience, and we move on forward. You talk about Evan Mobley. He will for sure be here. Get rid of that and move on forward. What happens with Darius Garland? I don't know. Max Strus wasn't here. George Niang wasn't here. Just get through that. And then you can approach the offseason with whatever. And again, people will be yelling at me right now, like, dude, we have a playoff series starting on Saturday. You're already talking about the offseason? No, it's just, might as well win it. You're in this right now. You're in the jackpot. Terry Collins, great clip. It's one of my favorite sports clips of all time. Their ass is in the jackpot now. You're in it. Win this round. See what happens playing out after that. And I think what the Cavs did yesterday was they took the for sure route, right? You're right, Ryan. Had we known exactly how it was going to play out, maybe we didn't have a different conversation right now. You did what was in your control. You did what you felt was going to be the best. You locked up a first-round home court advantage against a team in the Orlando Magic that, frankly, you should beat. Now let's talk about the players. Max Strus, who did have his first career triple-double yesterday, he sounded like he was a little upset that the Cavs gave that game away in the fourth quarter. And I couldn't tell if that was him just saying that to say that, or if the player, okay, when you tank, it's really hard to go to the players and say it.
And you got to remember, too, Matt, Max Strus was a guy who played in the NBA Finals just last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, got paid to come here. Good situation and all, but yeah, you're right. You can't straight out tell your guys they're going to tank. That is a scandal, all that. It's the worst kept secret in sports. But what you do is what JB did. You manipulate the rotations. You manipulate who's out there on the court. You don't say anything to those guys, but you change who's out there from time to time. Now, again, fourth quarter, you still had some meaningful guys out there. And I get that Max is upset that they lost that game. Bro, they scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. It was obvious to every single person watching that game what the Cavs were doing in that fourth quarter. And if anything, you could look at it and say, when they gave a damn, they were beating up on the Hornets.
Imagine if Donovan rolled his ankle with like 5 minutes left.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want Donovan playing that game. He didn't need to. I didn't need they kept back the majority of guys that they needed to, right? Good, great, fantastic. Amani Bates played almost 30 minutes in that game. Perfect. It was just the obvious thing. It is the most wink-wink situation when JB's changing his rotation. So, again, I respect Max Strus for saying what he said after the game. Bro, we all know what was up. And there's no shame in that. Another side that people want to jump onto maybe. Oh, when you start the losing, when you start that culture, there's no going back. Spare me, please. Come on now. We all knew what that game was. It was a nuisance. That game, if they could have canceled that game yesterday, the Cavs would have loved to. And I tell you, I think the Hornets probably would have too. Nobody wanted to play that game yesterday. There were other games certainly in the East, and the West was pretty much set. Yesterday was a bad day of full basketball. Nobody really gave a damn. And they just played it out. You get ready for the play-in tournament game starting tomorrow. Yesterday was a giant nuisance. So that's where, on our Twitter question this morning, Ryan, which is up at Matt Fontana Show, do you have an issue with the Cavs losing that game yesterday? I unequivocally say no. And I really do not understand anybody that would try to tell me yes. Have we gotten anybody that's tried to tell us their side of things?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Charles said I'm reserving all my Cavs anger for the first round exit.
Cavs are not losing.
Okay, that's the other thing. You have now, okay, the other side of it, right? Now that it's the Magic, you're right. You cannot lose that. You cannot lose this series against the Magic. At least if it was the 76ers, I don't even want to say more than the Pacers, because I think Orlando and Indiana is probably in the same boat. But you have played this game to set it up that you have to win the series.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to win this series. And I don't care how many games. It could be 6, could be 7. I don't care. You have got to win this series. And I think they. We're going to ask that question later in the week.
If the Cavaliers,
they're going to win that series.
If the Cavaliers if they, God forbid, do lose the opening round to Orlando Magic, then yeah, I'll agree with you 100%. Yes, all hell breaks loose. There's so many questions. You made your bed and now you just died in it. Yeah, literally all hell will break loose for this Cavaliers team. But I'm not going there yet.
Okay, but here's the thing. Even if they did, so like and that's a tough thing because I almost sit here and I say, so what? You know, with this offseason, the things I talked about are already happening. They're already down the pipe, all that. What you want to be able to do is build on it. If you talk about the protocol, so to speak, of an NBA team on a rebuild, sometimes you need years like this where you get in, you gain a little experience that was probably supposed to be last year. Now you're in this of winning a first-round matchup. If you were a little bit better of a basketball team, I would ask for the Eastern Conference Finals. If you were giving me the Cavs team that we saw at their peak, which was probably, January, when they had all things clicking, even without Mobley and Garland, you would probably say, okay, we want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. The other wrench in all this, you, me, and everybody knows the 76ers are better than the 7 seed, which they might probably get. You know that. They should be the 4 seed. They should be the 5 seed, but they're not. So that's the other wrench that got thrown into this. You look at the Western Conference, I pulled the bracket up. That is exactly how you thought to play it out, right? Like, there's nothing on the Western side that you look at and you're like, wow, didn't really see that coming.
And I think winning a first-round playoff series is so much more important for this Cavs team right now than it mattering whether or not the Cavs lose to the Celtics in the second round or Eastern Conference Finals, personally.
Right.
I really don't. I like if they bow out to the Celtics in the second round or the Eastern Conference Finals, that doesn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah,
for
right.
Me. I understand what people are saying. It's like, yeah, well, you want the best road to the NBA Finals. Like, you don't want to. You had the chance to get the 2 seed. You had a chance to lock up home court advantage for the second round as well. But at that point, you're still playing probably the Bucks at that point or the 76ers. I mean, you got to get through them one way or another. I want this first round win under my belt.
We're all going to qualify this. We're all going to look at this a little bit differently on how they play, also how these series play out. Are you competitive with these teams? And I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that in just being the optimist and Cavs fan that I am, the Celtics are a juggernaut. I'm not saying that they're not. But the Cavs have the horses. They should have the guys, when right, to take a game or two and make it scrappy against them. That being said, they've played horrible basketball. Horrible might be a little strong, but they've played pretty bad basketball for the last month plus. But don't forget that you still got the guys. You could be like some of these other teams that are limping in, missing key rotational guys due to injury. The Cavs should be on the upswing of getting healthy. But the problem is, it's not even a health thing. It's the mental side of this team. I think there are some X's and O's issues with this team. But I'm going to tell you, I'm holding out the hope. Maybe it all comes together. I'm going to dream. As unlikely as it might be, I'll dream about us beating the Celtics in the second round. I would love that, man. I would love that. And do you want to know what's going to happen, Ryan, in 2 weeks when we get there? Or less than that, probably a week and a half when we get there? I'm going to try to talk myself into it. It might sound loon. It might sound crazy, but I'll do it. That's different than this first-round matchup. This first-round matchup, I am on a seek and destroy mission. I am out to beat the Orlando Magic. There's some sort of David Blaine, David Copperfield joke there. I don't know what it is. I'm not that quick on it. I don't know what it is. You got to beat the Magic. There's no question on that. Beyond that, at least I look at a team that says we got talent. You could say a lot of things about the Cavs. They got talent. Now, the issue is the talent has not been playing well, and they've not been up to what your expectations are. But leave the door cracked. And I'm not saying leave it open. Just leave it cracked. These guys might be able to show up.
Would it make like a difference for you, Matt, whether they like the way you outlook on this season when it all wraps up and the way you go back and you look at this season as a whole, whether you want to grade it, just analyze it, would it make that much of a difference to you if the Cavs lost to the Celtics in the second round instead of the Eastern Conference Finals?
Here's my thing. It's going to be more about how that series is played. And I'm copping out. I'm not giving you an answer, and I apologize on that. Here's the thing. You get swept and destroyed by 10 points in all 4 games, I'm going to feel a little bit different. You scrap, you fight, you show a little bit, then that's going to make me feel a little bit better. I still think there are things that no matter what happens, I say no matter what, go win the title and something will change, but I think there are some things that are inevitably going to happen. And I think a change of coach is going to happen. I still think they're going to trade Darius Garland. They're going to sign Evan Mobley. Or Jared Allen needs an extension. Mobley needs an extension. You got to sign Donovan Mitchell and all that. And there are some people that they want to say this playoff run matters in Donovan Mitchell's decision. And I think that's a really interesting point to bring up. We're not in Donovan's head. We're not him. I have no idea. But it does matter. It's just like me as the fan. As I sit here and I'm going to watch these series, it's how the Cavs play in these series is how I'm going to feel about it. I expect them to beat the Magic, and I want them to be competitive against the Celtics. These decisions will enter Donovan Mitchell's mind. They're not decision, I'm sorry. How they play is going to enter his mind on when he makes his decision. I really don't think he's got his mind made up. I think he's leaning one way, and you want to see how it plays out. Also, I think he's going to want to see who the head coach is going to be. Because I unfortunately, I think that's going to happen too. So I guess the one area that I would look at the most of if people were upset about yesterday, maybe the bigger picture, is the impact on Donovan Mitchell. I'd listen to it for a second, but I think yesterday you just wash it. Now, what they do in the playoffs, I think that's going to mean a little bit to Donovan. I think it will. And then the moves that are off that and everything that happens. But you got the guys. And I also think it would probably end up being frustrating, but let's play a fantasy world for just a second. And let's say the Cavs come out and they gentlemen sweep the Magic. And then they go into a Celtics series and they play well. And maybe they take it to 7. And maybe they somehow scrap and fight. Your anger would then go, where the hell's this team been for a month? But that's kind of my point. I see I know that it's just about them flipping the switch. I know it's just about them something up top, man. It's something mental injuries, exhaustion. They get the week off, man. Relax, chill. Get to practice on Wednesday. Just get off your feet. But I'm not asking Matthew Dellavedova and Ramon Sessions, and I'm not asking some subpar team. The Cavs on paper and their roster should be better than they are. I'm going to leave the door open for them to actually show the hell up. Because I'll tell you this, Ryan. I don't think at all the point this season we saw the true Cavaliers team. You saw them play really well, again, without Mobley and Garland and all the discussions that we had there. I think truly through an 82-game season, you never really saw the true Cleveland Cavaliers team. Maybe they'll show up for the playoffs. The other side of that, people will be telling me, no, Matt, you did see them. You did see them lose games that they weren't supposed to. You did see them choke away a 20-point lead to the Clippers. That is the true team. I don't want to live in that world. So I'm going to put my blinders up. I'm going to disassociate. I'm going to throw out to the side and act like I don't really believe that. We'll find out. Here's the thing. We'll find out come Saturday. We'll find out when it all starts on Saturday as we gear up for the playoffs. At the end of the day, you're in. Feel good about that. You should beat the Orlando Magic. That's how good we feel. We got it? You got it? You got it? 11 a.m. baseball. Let's go. Come on now. You better get this bet in now. You got 2 hours,
I'm like
buddy.
trying to send it out on the page.
I know. Get it out. Go. Send it out. Tipico, get it signed up this morning. Guardians, Red Sox, 11 a.m. It's Patriots Day. They have the Boston Marathon, so they're playing a little bit early today. So you better head over to Tipico right now. These are one of these bets, Ryan. One of our parlays here. You actually cannot make this parlay. We had to go through the back channels of Tipico. We're going to do the Padone special. Under 1 run in the opening inning. I think early baseball might be off a little bit. Guardians, Red Sox are favored in this game, so we took the Guardians plus a 1.5. We just need Andres Gimenez 1 hit, right? That was the last one we put in there?
Yes, sir.
That is. We're boosted up to what?
Plus 320.
320. Let's go. Come on now. Where do I have this boost? Is it under the game?
It's under the trending.
Oh, no. It's under the game, too. I got it under the game, too. $10. Boom. Placing right now. Bet place. Can you see it? There you go.
Kind of.
You can see my bar on my cashback parlay. Ryan, I need $30 more.
I'm getting real close to mine.
There we go. Tipico's where we're at, folks. The boost we tell you about, the cash back rewards. All you do is bet like you normally would. I know you can't really see it. There's a bar right there. You fill it up, you get your cash back. It's not some stupid token to get a hat. Nobody wants, well, we have plenty of free t-shirts to give away, by the way. But it's money back into your account to you bet with. That's as simple as that. Folks, Tipico is where it's at. Use that code Fontana100 for new customers when you sign up. Deposit and bet $25. As soon as your game, whatever you bet that on, is done, get $100 in bonus bets. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But get signed up today. We got the NBA. Dude, tell me you don't want to bet all the play-in tournament games. I got locks for that, by the way, that we'll get to tomorrow.
You better share them.
You better. Oh, you know I will tomorrow. We got it. Locks on that. We'll get to that coming up. But you got NHL playoffs around the corner. Tipico is where it's at. And then a Guardians boost. We got that rolling. I love it. Tipico is where it's at. Get signed up today. So, again, under a run in the first inning. Just one Andres Jimenez hit. I feel like he's due for that. The Guardians plus a run and a half. There you go. Get signed up today with code Fontana100 with our friends at Tipico. And it is a great time for me to remind you that we are getting into a lot of our giveaways. We're giving away a bunch of merch over the weekend. So all you got to do is follow Tipico because they retweet a lot of stuff. But at Big Play, and it's a lot of times related to Tipico stuff. So we got a lot of swag we're giving away as well. So check it out there. And our boost is already up. You got 2 hours, less than 2 hours to get that boost in with us right here with Tipico and the Fontana Show. Let's get our first break of the morning. I do want to talk a little more Guardians. Yeah, okay, a rough one with the Yankees. Are you off the guard train yet? Are you starting to realize that maybe we got a little too hyped? We'll discuss that, and I got a lot of Browns I want to get to. I've got a 3-round dueling mock where it's Mel Kiper and Field Yates, and they go back and forth on the picks.
I'd be so team Field Yates in that.
I like Field. I think he's really good.
Field.
Field. Mel's the man. He's the godfather of all of it. But it's 2 rounds, or excuse me, it's 3 rounds. So I do want to go and see what they have the Browns. Again, they go back and forth, but a lot of these picks are playing out exactly how we thought. So I just want to see what we have there at 54. And a really interesting article this morning from Chris Easterling. Chris covers the Browns for the Akron Beacon Journal. Shout out to him. And he listed the 3 most important people, or the way he put it, under the microscope for the Browns off-season program. They start today. They're in Berea. We'll get the videos of all the guys walking in. They'll be like that Jets player that couldn't punch the coach. I saw it, and somebody goes, OJ trying to get into heaven.
I saw
There was a lot of OJ stuff this week. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a really interesting article from Chris, so I want to discuss that. We'll get through the 3 people under the microscope the most this offseason program for the Browns. Catch our break. Tell you about Tipico. We got plenty to come right here. Fontana Show. Big play. Stay with us.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. And you saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, welcome back. We're talking Cavs on Saturday. We got a lot of Browns, a lot of Guardians to get to as well. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Follow us, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch,
Get
at
those
Matt
bets
Fontana
in.
Show. Get those bets in. We got, again, 11:10. We'll be driving home, Ryan, listening to the game. It's going to be fun. Our bets are in with Tipico. Check us out on Twitter as well to see our bets. The only quick thing, before I want to transition to the Browns, a little bit of Guardians too. Saturday, what time do you think we're going to get? I think you and I think we're staring down the barrel of like a 5 o'clock.
Well, I think out of the first round matchups, outside of the Knicks and to probably be the Sixers, I got to imagine that will be the one with the most intrigue.
Okay, dude, they don't have it out yet, right? So this is all right. Yeah, okay, so tomorrow is the Western Conference. Lakers, New Orleans, Golden State, Sacramento. Wednesday is the Eastern Conference. Miami, Philly, Atlanta, Chicago. Then the first round starts on Saturday. Here are the games that you will have in the Eastern Conference on Saturday. Cavs, Orlando, and the New York 7 seed. Because, again, the 7 seed will be set on Wednesday. That's enough time off for them, and you can move forward. Sunday will be Indiana, Milwaukee, and then Boston in the 8 seed. Also Saturday on the west side of things, Minnesota, Phoenix. That's in Minnesota, though. So it's not like it's a West Coast one. And Denver at home against the 7 seed. So again, you have 4 games on Saturday. Let's run through them again. Cavs, Orlando. New York, 7 seed. Denver, 7 seed. Minnesota, Phoenix. The slots, they will have a 1 o'clock game.
I think
that's
be
the
Denver.
cap.
Oh, really?
No, 1 o'clock in Denver?
Oh, you're right.
They can't do
you're
that.
You're right.
No, right.
So then
Denver will be the late game. Denver's, you can just put them in the 7 or the 10 o'clock game, East Coast time.
You're right.
The 7 o'clock game is
that'll be Knicks and Sixers.
Because you got to go East West, right? Because I think you're going to want to get.
Then you think the Cavs going to be the earliest game?
I think they might have to be the earliest game.
I think
they'd actually be the earliest game. And again, be at home, so all that kind of that plays it out. Because I got to tell you, the most intriguing matchup there.
Do they have to go East West?
No, they could do back-to-back East. Because I think that actually would probably be what the NBA wants to do. Because Clippers-Dallas is actually the best game that day. You put that at 7 o'clock, East Coast time. They're in Dallas. That makes the most sense. And then you go into the West Coast at night. Don't nobody want to watch the Knicks. I guess maybe if it's Philly.
They do, because it'll be Joel.
I guess you're right. If it is the 76ers.
It will be.
Yeah. But I guess the way that I look at it, I think there's your bookend. I think the Cavs Magic are the early game. I don't think there's any question on that. And I think Denver's your late game. No question on that.
Okay.
So then it's just if you want to flip the early two there. So I should have tried to look this up. What would be the start times for that? Like when you go back, hang on, let me see if I can find this for you.
Probably like.
All right, so this was 1 year ago today.
Was it like 2:30?
They started at 6 o'clock against the Knicks.
Oh, damn.
So I guess they could have. We're going with like the NCAA format of them trying not to have overlapping games. Man, I'd love to know what the start times were on the first day of the playoffs 1 year ago. But that'd be doing some digging, and I just completely derailed from where the show's at right now. NBA playoff start times. All right, this is from CBS Sports. But this is just a play-in tournament. Nobody cares about that. Yeah, they're all TBD after that. Huh. So, yeah, I mean, maybe you go 6, 7, 8, 10, maybe. But I think no matter what, the Cavs and the Magic are going to be the first round. Or the first game, as it goes. Wait a minute. I'm on NBA.com. They have a different one. CBS Sports is wrong. Oh, my gosh. No, I'm sorry. The Clippers, Dallas, they're Sunday. It's Minnesota, Phoenix. Duh.
No,
I'm sorry.
You said that.
No. I said Clippers, Dallas.
But first you said it was Minnesota.
I'm sorry. Minnesota, Phoenix is your Saturday game. So, again, I take that back. I apologize. I was screwed up on that. So, here are your 4 games. Knicks versus 7 seed, Cavs, Magic, Nuggets versus the 7 seed, Timberwolves and Suns. That is in Phoenix. Okay, that changes some things. Phoenix will be the late game.
It's not in Phoenix.
Oh, you're right, Minnesota. Yeah, okay, I take all that back. You're right. Duh.
Because that's what you originally said.
I still think I'm screwing myself up, which is screwing everybody else up, and I apologize for that. I think regardless, the Cavs, they're going to be the early game. Whatever time that might be, I think they're going to be the early game, so we'll see. All right, sneak in some guards before we turn our attention to a lot of the Browns here. Were you bothered by this weekend? Were you bothered by the fact that the Yankees, who are just seem to be it, man, and they took 2 out of 3, and you had to go to extra innings. You got to walk off yesterday. Are you still on the Guardians train there, Ryan?
Hell yeah, I am, Matt.
I am too. What do you want?
Yeah,
I mean,
you played the best team in baseball up to this point, record-wise, I should say.
Yep.
And I mean,
all good.
You won one. You still
all
won.
Good.
You still won. You probably shouldn't have.
All
It
good.
shouldn't have been that close, but you still won. You blew it in the 9th, but you still managed to win. I thought that showed a lot of fight. The issue is, and it remains as it was last week, is the starting pitching now. The runs are still there. It's concerning that 3 of your pitchers, Logan Allen, Tanner Bybee, Tristan McKenzie,
three
straight, who you thought were going to be solid options, have over a 5 ERA.
Yeah.
That's not good. You've had to stretch out this bullpen immensely so far early in this season. You've had some winners and losers in the bullpen. Cade Smith looks really well. We all know how we feel about some Scott Barlows of the world and whatnot, Eli Morgans. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's wins and losses, and I'm still very confident in this Guardians team.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I got friends. What time do you think they're listening to the show? They're like, what time do you think what time they're going to tip? I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly there are warts with this team, and there are issues. Okay, this is going to be get off my lawn guy for a second. Why is Nestor Cortez allowed to do that? Did you see that video?
Yeah, I did.
So he
saw
gets
it live.
set, and Nestor Cortez, he loves doing this weird stuff because it gets him on SportsCenter. And he's on the rubber, and he goes like this, and then he goes like that. But the one time he threw the ball, he didn't throw it, and then he threw it again. How can you do that?
I think that is legal.
Well, there's no runners on, so there's no balk. I get it. And he's on the rubber. It could be all part of his pitching motion. I think that's bull crap. And he fouled it off. I think it was Tyler Freeman. It wasn't out. It was Brennan. He fouled it off. So what? I watched it. I go, what are we doing here? What is this bull crap? And there are guys that always have had wonky wind-ups or they try to do something crazy, but I didn't like that. I thought it was pretty stupid.
It was weird.
I think it's a little
I think it just
chachi.
messes him up.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what he does. That's what he loves to do. It would look like it was a high pitch. It looked to be a strike, near a strike. But it's chachi, man. I don't know. I thought that was pretty stupid there. But nonetheless, rebound today. Get back at it after the Red Sox. Hopefully get a win. Scrap it on out. We'll see where we're at. Listen, I'm not going to jump off this team. It's going to take a lot for me to really jump off this team. Okay, you showed a little bit. You're playing some tough teams. You should be able to win against Boston. And do you want to know still what, Ryan? You wake up this morning, you're still leading the AL Central.
You're still 10-5.
Yeah. It still feels good. Still feels good. It's where we're at. Feeling good about the Browns' off-season program begins today. They do have media availability tomorrow. So for those that don't know, the off-season program, they divide it up into all these weird kind of different things, okay? And it's all in the CBA about when you can have guys in, mandatory minicamp, and all that kind of stuff. At this point, though, this is a crucial juncture of this offseason for the Cleveland Browns. Here are some things. Before we get to Chris Easterling's article, which I thought was really great, 3 people under the microscope for the Browns this offseason program. Couple of things. You're going to get updates on Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb. And I know that Watson's been out in L.A. I don't think Chubb has been in Cleveland, but I don't know that for sure. But these guys are going to come back, and you're going to get some medical rechecks. And there's probably some other guys. What's up with DeJuan Jones? What's up with Jack Conklin? Some guys, Grant Delpit. And those are all things that you kind of cast off to the side. You assume they're going to be fine, but you're going to get some of these updates going on the medical side of things. Then the other part of it, you've got a new offense that you're going to start gearing up for. So that is the important part of getting ready to go for this offseason program. Chris Easterling, Akron Beacon Journal, 3 people under the microscope as the Browns begin their offseason program. Ryan, would you dare guess one of the 3? It's in no particular order, but just guess one of the 3.
Well, Matt, I have to assume that one is no other than Deshaun Watson.
You would be correct. Okay. It wouldn't be an off-season list of players, Chris writes this, on a watch if it didn't include Deshaun Watson. We know where he was at, the injury and all that kind of stuff. The thing, and Chris writes this too, where's he at with the shoulder? I know he was at that charity event, he was opening his restaurant. He was opening his restaurant. And he said everything's all good. I'm following the plan. you're going to want a little more in depth. And Kevin Stefanski is going to get asked 10 times over the next couple of weeks, where are we at with it, to try to get some semblance. What are they going to keep saying? He's on pace. He's on schedule. He'll be ready to go for the opening of the season. I don't know what more you can get, but that is number one on the list here is Deshaun Watson of Under the Microscope. Another person under the microscope, Ken Dorsey, offensive coordinator. And Chris is right on saying this. We've only talked to him once since he was hired in late January. There's been questions, which I think there's a limit. What is he going to tell you in an off-season program? Oh, man, we're going to run this play and we're going to do... No. But it's just the vision and the idea of what you think this team is going to be. And now the importance of instilling and installing this new offense. One of the things that I hated the most about all the coaching turnover that we had, not only it meant that we sucked, but every offseason you felt like you were racing and you could never catch up. You felt like in just such a small time frame, you are trying to cram this brand new offense or this brand new defense, and you never really felt like you got anywhere. Now, Jim Schwartz did an amazing job last year. Coming in, new defense, and they were one of the best in the league. This offense, again, a question I want answered but won't. How much is this Stefanski versus Dorsey? Are you keeping base level stuff that Kevin Stefanski was running with Alex Van Pelt? And it's Ken Dorsey just putting his twist on this? Is it, we're going to rethink this a little bit? They're not going to give those answers up. Why would you tell everybody else in the league what you're planning on doing? I get it. But then you get to the ultimate question, Ryan. And what is going to be one of the most asked questions, or probably the first question? Who's calling plays? Me? I get why people care. I understand. It's a big part of a team. Who is the offensive play caller? Me? I'm operating that it's Kevin Stefanski until Ken Dorsey takes the job from him. Until he can prove and tell Kevin Stefanski, I can handle this, man. And if you were asking me right now today, as a betting man, you saw my typical account, you know that. Thank you very much, Scott Scheffler. Appreciate you, bro. I would say that Kevin Stefanski's still calling plays. I don't know why. Now, it's not by a lot. I'm going to say that's like minus 150. I would say in the Fontana Sportsbook, which is an offshoot of Tipico.
Is that what eBay bets on?
I can neither confirm nor deny if I've ever even spoken to that man. I can neither confirm nor deny I've ever had conversations with him.
Is that what Jonte Porter bets on?
Oh, you see what Adam Silver said about him?
Yeah.
He's like
Cardinal Sin.
But then people were like, dude, did you see what Miles Bridges? But Jonte Porter, if he was really throwing games, he will be banished for life. That's a fact. But at the Fontana Sportsbook, which again, I can neither confirm nor deny I've ever had any conversations nor contact with any of the people that you just mentioned, Ryan. I would say it's like minus 150 Stefanski calls plays like plus 120. That
That's
Ken Dorsey
closer
did.
than I thought.
Very close. I think that this is going to come down to training camp. But my gut is leaning towards, I think Stefanski's going to keep that job for him. And maybe start the season knowing that he's got the default back to Ken Dorsey. There are people that want to jump onto, you wouldn't have gotten Ken Dorsey here for this job if you didn't make that promise. And I don't buy that for a second. Because the Browns are all about flexibility. There is in no way that they would sit down with him, who just got fired from a job that was out of a job, and promise him anything. Yeah. I can almost guarantee you when they sat down with Ken Dorsey, it's if you come to this team, we're not saying no. There's an option, there's a path and an avenue for that, but we got to figure out how this plays out. We don't know yet. So I don't think that this has been set in stone by any stretch of the imagination. But again, you get to the offseason program, how much of this is going to be Ken Dorsey? Are you changing a lot? Certainly the impact of Deshaun Watson, him throwing to Jerry. Here's the other thing, too, man. He's not going to be able to throw that much. I know he is throwing. I don't expect him to throw until training camp, in a practice setting anyway, with the Browns. Start building those reps with Jerry Jeudy, though. That'd be nice. I want almost every ball that's in the air from Deshaun Watson to go to Jerry Jeudy. He knows how to throw to Amari Cooper. I really don't care if he throws to Elijah Moore anymore. Every single pass that he throws in practice had better be to Jerry Jeudy, because they have got to get that figured out a little bit with him coming to town. But they're not going to say anything on what the offense is going to be. We'll figure out. The third person, this is a dark horse, which I think is really a great point by Chris. Again, Akron Beacon Journal, Chris Easterling. the 3 players under a microscope for this offseason. Ken Dorsey, Deshaun Watson.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be. Well, obviously, it doesn't have to be a player then.
It does not have to be a player.
Is this one a player?
But it is a player.
So you said dark horse, so it's not Nick Chubb.
I wouldn't have thought of this. But Chris brings up great points. It is not Nick Chubb.
Is it somebody that dealt with an injury?
No.
Oh,
No.
see, okay, that's what.
No. No.
Amari Cooper?
No. Good guess, though.
I don't know.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Guy needs a deal. Chris writes, we don't want this list to be all about offense, even though the offense is where almost all the questions arise. So what about a defensive interest this spring? Enter Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, entering his 4th year outside linebacker who may be staring at a massive season in what could be a contract season. You also talk about Jeremiah, where I think last year might have been his best year. I'll limit it this way. I think his rookie year was really impressive. Second year kind of dealt with some injuries, and I think he balled out last year. So that's good for him. And number one, you're back in Jim Schwartz's system here. He clearly unlocked something with that. So you believe Jim Schwartz is going to be here for a little while. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah has proven that he can play in this system, and I think Jim Schwartz likes him where he's at. That helps this kind of stuff. But again, under the microscope of, are they going to pull the trigger on this deal? And of the offseason of the counting of the money and the restructure, the Chubb deal and all that other kind of stuff that's playing out, there's still some things you got to figure out. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, a contract extension. Do you get Amari Cooper a contract extension? Can I get you?
Would you rather have extended if you can only pick one?
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Don't even think about it. And I love Amari Cooper. I want Amari Cooper here. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. You know a name that came up recently with me? Somebody was talking to? Jed Wills. If they don't want to have to enter this conversation about finding a left tackle, and Jed is a polarizing guy because he's good, but he's not great. He fights the injuries, but he's still serviceable at that position. And then my future is DeJuan Jones at right tackle. I think no matter what, if he even makes it there, Jack Conklin, he will not be your right tackle next year. If he plays it out this season, fine. I think there could be potential trade in training camp or this offseason or something with Jack Conklin. All that being said, there are a couple of guys that you look at and wonder about deals that you got to, get the money out, but there's no bigger on the list than Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So I'd put him under the microscope as Chris did, certainly for this offseason. Anybody else that you put under the microscope that you're really looking at this offseason?
I would have just mentioned DeJuan Jones and Conklin as
that's a big question. What are you doing with that tackle position, right?
Yeah. Besides those, I mean, Greg Newsome, I suppose.
Yeah, and
at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to
pick. Right. Now, no. If they pick up that 5th-year option, no. But
and they still have a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. But
what?
Okay. Another conversation, a topic that I've discussed with somebody is, if you were trading him, wouldn't you want that leaked out right about now? That you're going to, we're going to pick up this option because it got Greg Newsome in the news cycle a little bit. And if these other teams might be interested, you want to trade him before the option comes up to give that new team the option. Here I am coming off like I'm trying to trade Greg Newsome left and right. I'm not. I'm just reading the room. I'm just understanding how things work. Think about why they would want that leaked out about right now, though. So I agree with you. Again, back to the Fontana Sportsbook, an offshoot of Tipico. Bet with Tipico, they're better. I have no cashback rewards at my book. You can go to hell. You go to Tipico's where you want cashback. At my book, I'm minus 200 he's going to be on this team. He's going to be on this team this season. But it's now minus 1,000. I'm not guaranteeing this that he's going to. I'm just saying. I think Mary Kay's reporting is right. The Browns will pick that option up. But I also don't think that slams the door that they're not listening to other offers. And Greg Newsome was in the news cycle last week and let it get out a little bit about, you know what? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Every twist of the knife, every turn we get to.
I'd welcome it.
We get into trading Greg Newsome. Well, that being said, depends if they draft a corner or not, but at 54, Ryan, they don't. So we go to a dueling mock, Field Yates and Mel Kiper. They go back and forth through 3 rounds of picks. Number 1, Caleb Williams. Number 2, Jaden Daniels. Number 3, Drake May. Number 4, Marvin Harrison Jr. Arizona would be stupid. Just take him. I know people want quarterbacks. Just take him. Do it. Now, number 5. Go ahead, Ryan.
J.J. McCarthy.
Minnesota Vikings trade up with the Chargers. Mel Kiper. Did you expect a different quarterback here? No. Giving up the 2025 pick is going to hurt Minnesota, but it'd be worth the organization if they feel that J.J. McCarthy can be the guy. There's some risks involved. He was never asked to carry the load with his arm in college, but his physical tools are appealing. That's the big thing. Everybody's jumping on J.J. McCarthy. Ooh, he's got this, or ooh, he's got this intangible. And you got to dive to some advanced analytics. Here's my thing. You got to dive to advanced analytics on a guy. What does that tell you? Oh, he's really good on third and long and third and medium and over the middle. Okay. All right. 6, Malik Neighbors goes to the Giants. Joe Alt, Dallas Turner, they're all there. J.C. Latham, Brock Bowers. Oh, by the way, Field Yates has Denver taking Brock Bowers, not a quarterback. Not a quarterback. I'm trying to see what other quarterbacks they have in the first round here. They do not have another corner going in the first round. They do not. Now, that being said, first round, wide receivers. Are you ready for this, Ryan? I don't know if you want this answer. Marvin Harrison, 4. Malik Neighbors, 6. Rome Adunze. I always screw his last name up. I'm sorry, Rome. Washington guy, 9. Brian Thomas, LSU, 17. Xavier Worthy, 23 to the Chargers. Adonai Mitchell, 28. Xavier Legette, 32. 34. Keon Coleman to the Patriots. 39 Panthers.
Damn it.
Lad McConkey.
Don't send him.
I'd be fine getting up to 34 39 if he was there.
Don't send my guy to that trash franchise.
Mel writes on Lad McConkey. I thought about corner and edge rusher here, but this might be a great spot to add a talented wide receiver in one of the worst receiving cores in the league. Talking about Carolina. McConkey just knows how to get open. So there you go.
I heard that's a really good thing for wide receiver to know how to
do. It helps. You want to know my gut punch? 43, Malachi Corley. Ricky Pearsall goes 45. Jalen Polk goes 46. Jalen McMillan, wide receiver out of Washington, goes 51. There are no receivers left.
If these recent mocks come to fruition and we see 15, 14, whatever receivers off the board for the Browns pick, I got to imagine they're not taking one with that 54. There's no way.
Except there's one left. Troy Franklin. Oh, Rome Wilson is there. I'll give you that. Rome Wilson is still there. So there is 2. Field Yates, Browns 54, Troy Franklin. Browns traded for Jerry Jeudy this offseason, but they still feel one wide receiver short on offense. Please, God, thank you, Field. Especially since Amari Cooper's entering the final year of his deal. Franklin has a speedy big play waiting to happen. I'm fine. I love Troy Franklin there at 54. For the record, Rome Wilson goes all the way to the 3rd round, 76 overall. There. So I'd be fine with Troy Franklin. So here's the other issue, right? If you feel like a lot of them come off the board, but this is so deep, I wouldn't let that dissuade me. If anything, I'd probably make some calls to try to trade up. Like, dude, if Lad McConkey was there at 39 still, I'd try really hard.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd try really hard to get up there. 3rd round, 85th overall, Mel Kiper, Browns select, Trey Benson running. Could you imagine if he fell to 85? We got mocks of him going at 54. You pick him up at 85, I'll have a different conversation on this. Nick Chubb should be back from a serious knee injury, writes Mel, but the Browns could use a young back to push him. Benson is speedy and shifty. I like his ability to hit the hole and find a lane, which is 2 picks in the first 2 rounds, or first 3 rounds of the draft. Cleveland might have to target its needs. You could talk me into Trey Benson at 85, not at 54. 85, I don't think I'd be that upset. Still available in this draft at 85. I mean, it's a bunch of guys you wouldn't know. Some D tackles, a couple other running backs, that kind of stuff. But I'd take him there.
Do you know
if he lasted 85, I would definitely jump on him there.
Do you know where Tavondre Sweat went?
I can Google
how far he dropped.
Well, I mean, with everything that's going on, did you see some of the write-up somebody had from him?
Well, I saw that there was a thing that people already marked him for his off the field issues
and
before
they said
that.
One of the things that got leaked out, he's a class clown. He's kind of a jokester. Now this off the field stuff, I do not have him. He's not in this 3-round mock. So I think he's starting to fall in this.
Oh, that's right. It's only 3 rounds.
It's only a 3-round mock, yeah. Yeah. And I just searched the page for Sweat and it didn't come up. So, I mean, you talk about some of the red flags, and yeah, we've had that. Who was that lineman that his dad posted the video of him with the bong mask?
That was Laramie Tunsil.
Was that Laramie Tunsil?
Who's now one of the best tackles in the league.
But that's my thing. He was like a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
You don't really like Jalen Carter with the off the field stuff with the car crash and everything. I get it. There's some talent there. When you're a guy like T'Vondre Sweat, that's maybe a 2 or a 3, and then you add this kind of stuff. Watching even how the Browns have picked over the years and doing this job that I have, I got to tell you, one of the intangibles that you have got to have on the top of your list is this guy going to be a professional? Everybody's got personal lives, and what they do in their personal lives are their decision. But I'm talking about, is this guy going to show up at 8 a.m. workouts? I say 8 a.m. I'm talking about 5 a.m. Are you going to show up on time? Are you going to watch your tape? I can't tell you some of the guys that I've seen come through here and not give a damn. And that will get you out as an early player, as a young player. That's going to get you out of this league faster than anything. Now, trust me, I've seen some veteran guys that have come here not giving a damn, but they're veteran guys and they were paid up. Don't ask me names. Don't do it. You probably all know who I'm talking about. But I've seen some guys come through here without giving a damn, but the young guys, you get that label, you're done, man. You're done. And there are, like, again, you don't want some try-hard guy either out there lighting people up in practice and things like that. You got to have people that are going to show up and understand, I got to work. I don't want class. And again, they all have personalities, and they're guys you got to fit in the locker room too. But when you get that, I'll never forget this, man. This was years ago. It was Barkevi's Mingo draft. That the LSU strength coach, you can Google and find this picture. The LSU strength coach had his office, and if we turn, I don't want to turn the camera, but it's like where we're at here at Burke. There's glass walls. There's our wall right here. And he put a note up on his door, Ryan. And it said, to all the NFL scouts coming to ask me questions, these are the guys that never showed up for workouts. Wow. And he listed a bunch of guys. Wow. And he said, I will talk to you about anybody else on the team except those guys because they didn't show up. And all that list, none of those guys made it. None of those guys made it. And that's the stuff that I think matters. So, again, for T'Vondre Sweat, and he might catch on as an undrafted free agent. He might be a guy that turns it all around. But you know who I'm going to, man? One of the guys that I feel bad, Perrion Winfrey. Perrion Winfrey could not get his stuff figured out, right? And some of these guys, I know Josh Gordon's probably the example a lot of people think of, and the weed and the substance abuse and his addiction problems, I get it. You just want to shake these guys and go, you got tens of millions of dollars. You're staring down the barrel. Get your stuff together. Addiction is very real. I'm not saying it's not. But to just shake Josh Gordon and go, stop smoking weed. You can smoke it all day when you're done. Lo and behold, we're in the NFL. They don't even really test for it anymore. Like, it just sometimes doesn't resonate. Sometimes they can't understand. They can't get out of their own way. So for T'Vondre Sweat, not even the third round mock here. And I'm assuming some of these teams are going to start jumping off because, again, is the juice worth the squeeze? He's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. So you start adding in that kind of stuff, and find himself slipping down the mock drafts right here. All right, let's catch a break. When we come back, we'll get some morning update. We'll get to time up. Do you want to remind him of the boost just because we got to do it so fast here? Let's go. We got to go. All right, come on now. We're an hour away. Guards. Get signed up. Tipico. Fontana 100 is the code for new customers. Deposit and bet $25. You get $100 in bonus bets. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. You cannot even make this parlay on your own because we got Guardians plus a 1.5, under 1 run in the first inning, which I go back and forth, Ryan, because I hate it because I guess it's like anything. If it doesn't happen, then the rest of the game is moot. Yeah. You get angry because then you're like, all right, we're sunk. You got the whole game for the Guardians to cover a 1.5. You got the whole game for Andres Jimenez to get a hit. We got to have faith. So, here we are. Boosted up. Over 300 on the boost. Get signed up with Tipico today and catch it out there. We'll be rocking all day. Monday, what a busy day. Big Play Cleveland show. Jensen Lewis tonight to talk a little Guardians. We got Hanford Dixon. Dude, the stories coming out of Come Get Some with Blake and Greg Williams, what quarterback were they just talking about Greg was telling the story. I think it was Tennessee. Oh, no, it was Randy Moss.
Was it?
That's what it was. Greg Williams was telling a story about Tennessee, the Titans, how they were thinking about drafting Randy Moss, and they didn't. They passed on him to take somebody else.
That would have been a good pick.
Dude, I love that show, man. Come get some. Monday nights, Blake and Greg Williams. They talk UFL, too, because Greg's obviously coaching the Defenders there. So it's Mondays where it's at. Hanford, Big Play Cleveland show. Come get some. We started off 9 to 11. Big Play is where you need it, folks. BigPlay.com is our website. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Big Play. Some of them are Big Play shows. Some of them are Big Play CLE. Just do this. If you just search in the bar, you'll find it. You'll see all of our shows. Monday is always one of our busiest days here. But check it out. Everything we're making right here at Big Play. Catch a break. Morning update. Ryan's got it next. Scott Scheffler. It's the same jacket, though. Do you know multiple winners, they don't get 2 jackets. It's just the one that he had prior.
I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah, they get 1. So Scotty got his back.
Did they get like a pin?
I don't know. You know, in like high school when you would letter and they'd give you extra like pins or bars and that kind of stuff? I don't know. It's interesting. But we'll talk Masters. We got it all for you. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yep.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You know, I saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
Ryan's upset because Jose's DH.
I'm not
Welcome
upset.
back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
I'm
He's
not
Ryan
upset.
Tyler.
I just think he's our
Ryan
best
Tyler,
defensive third
33.
baseman as well.
He's very good. You got to give him some time off. And I said, what happens if he comes in and he gets spiked? And Ryan goes, well, you're going to get spiked after what happened with Tim Ant. I get it. Still might happen. They need some time off. Plus an early day game and all this kind of crap.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't say crap. It's a big day in Boston with the marathon, and that's why they're playing at 11, but exciting stuff. All right, let's get to it. Ryan's got the stories that you need to know from the weekend. We call it the morning update. Let's take it away with young Ryan.
Alrighty, well, Matt, speaking of the Guardians, we are just an hour away from first pitch as the Guardians take on the Boston Red Sox as they head to Fenway. Just yesterday, though, the Guardians avoided a sweep thanks to a sacrifice fly walk-off from Andres Jimenez as they come back from blowing it in the ninth.
I hate the extra inning rule.
See, I like it.
Oh, no, I hate it.
I love it.
I hate it. You wanted to speed the game up. You already did that with the pitch clock. I think it's stupid. That being said,
I think it bodes well for the Guards.
You think so? Because they're a small ball team, a little bunting, a little steal. You know what? I'll listen to that. I would listen to that. You're probably right. Hey, the Yankees are a really good team. You got to see kind of maybe how far you're away, but I'm not going to stop being excited about the bats. You're hitting. And people are upset at Will Brennan, who I just always think somehow, man, he's coming up at like just these clutch moments. And I don't know why.
But that like, right field?
Yeah, I know.
That was a horrible angle.
Yeah.
No, the guy who comes up in big moments, not even shitting you, David Fry.
Yeah, but he always hits.
Yeah.
And he turned that double play.
That's what I'm saying.
That was fun.
You go back to Oakland, that 3-run homer shot, those were the only runs we scored.
You won the game. You won the game on that. I mean, Vogt is still kind of figuring some things out with the lineup. The pitching rotation, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, you're just so down. You got to throw some guys in there, see how it kind of goes. But the lineup, I still think there's a little tinkering going on. This early game, again, 11, I think it's kind of cool because you get some day baseball really, really early. But still, get a win. Red Sox aren't that much better to you. Just win some series, right? So now, on the whole, Ryan, this early in the season, you've lost, what, 2 series? That's it, right?
1.
The Yankees
That's
and...
it.
Oh, that's right. We didn't lose the Seattle series. We won that. We lost to Seattle, but you still won that series.
And we won the Twins.
All right. Let's go.
That's
Just
what
win,
I'm saying.
win series. That's all I ask. You're still in a really good spot. Kind of catch one here on the Red Sox, and we'll see how we go. Pitching is the big concern. You got Xavier Curry back today. He was stretched out in the minors. Gavin Williams, eventually when he comes back, we're going to need him bad. Yeah, going to need him bad. There's something about Xavier Curry I like. I really like Xavier Curry. So, 5th starter, maybe. I know Carrasco battled the other day. That's kind of what you're going to expect out of him. You need Logan Allen and Tanner Bybee. That's it. Those are the two guys. Well, yeah, McKenzie coming off the injury, though. I gave him a little bit more room, I guess. But I'm looking at Bybee and Allen and understanding that, bro, they're still just second-year players. And that's super hard, and that's tough to ask. But lineup is hitting. Hitting can be contagious. Get a rolling, Guards. Get a win today. Let's go.
All right, Matt. Well, not the Guardians. We just talked about them. The Cavaliers, they are going into the NBA playoffs as the 4th seed. They will host the Orlando Magic Game 1 this Saturday, Matt. But a very controversial, if you want to call it, ending to last night's game where the Cavs did essentially tank that.
They did, and I don't understand. To our Twitter question, if you've got it up there, please, Ryan. Yes, at Matt Fontana Show. We asked everybody, are you upset with that Cavs loss yesterday?
51 say no.
Wow.
48% say yes.
And okay, so Jay Wiz sent me a tweet a little bit ago. It's a loser mentality. Everybody should be pissed. Come on, Jay. Come on, man. Seriously? One game and you're going to start pulling, it's a loser mentality. When you start losing, it starts to infect. No. You got a favorable round matchup. You're still home court. That game meant Jack Squat could do nothing. Absolutely nothing that game meant yesterday. I don't care that they tanked. Max Strus, I don't know if he should have said what he said. That's putting a little bit of pressure on his head coach, is it not? If you start coming out and saying that was a bad loss, bro, we all know what was going to happen. I really think that's you did not help JB Bickerstaff yesterday, Max. And I got a lot of respect for Max Strus. I like Max Strus. I'm happy he's here. When you said that, you are then saying I didn't agree with this plan. Or if you're going to try to bury your head in the sand and act like there wasn't a plan in place, then you are bringing undue pressure for JB Bickerstaff, right? Right? Do you see what I'm trying to get at here? It'd have been better for JB had Max just said nothing. He probably should have just done it that way. Whatever. Doesn't matter. They're done. They're in the playoffs now. We can focus on that. You know who you're facing all week. And we'll get to this coming up. They did an NBA playoff primer on ESPN. Something about every single team. Cavs road to the postseason. Their biggest concern, what to watch for in the first round, and their prediction. So we'll get to that a little bit later in the show.
All right, Matt. Well, we knew for a couple weeks now that the Boston Celtics were going to be the number 1 seed in the East, What we didn't know was going to be who the number 1 seed in the West was, as that was much, much closer. Turns out that's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder, Matt, a very, very young team, the 1 seed in the heavily stacked West, Matt. I want to ask you about that because you can draw some parallels between a young Thunder team and our Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, Chet's coming back and showing up the way that he has. Shai is just so good. So here's how it plays out. They will get the 8th seed, which, again, your play-in tournament. All right, let's do it this way. Kings-Warriors. Warriors.
That's close, man. I guess you don't want to bet against Steph in a play-in
Okay,
game.
Warriors. Pelicans-Lakers.
But here's the thing. The Lakers might want to lose that game to avoid the Nuggets.
Yeah, I guess. But then they'd have to beat the Warriors.
That's the thing.
What a fall from grace that you got LeBron and Steph Curry playing for the 8th seed in the play-in tournament.
But that's what I'm saying. But once those teams, one of them gets in the playoffs.
But then you better put all of your eggs in that basket. That's tough. Because then you're right. Then you have Oklahoma City. Your other matchup is the Clippers-Mavericks, which I think is going to be a great series. And I actually think the Suns are going to wipe the floor with the Timberwolves. You know me and the Suns. Just saying. And then the Nuggets, I think, will beat, whoever finishes it out there, if it plays the way that you think it'll play, with the Pelicans getting the win there. So, the West, I'll tell you this, there's no doubt about this. The West is so much more intriguing than the East. The East, it's all about just waiting to see if Boston's going to run on through and get to the finals there. The West, there's some really fun games out there. It's going to be exciting to watch.
All right, Matt, well, last year on the morning update, Scotty Scheffler wins the 2024 Masters Tournament as that wrapped up yesterday night. Scotty Scheffler now has won his 2nd green jacket in just 3 years, Matt, and he's the 4th youngest player to hold multiple green jackets, or I should say 1 green jacket, maybe with multiple pins.
So again, you get a jacket and then they just put it back on you. Do you know you're allowed to take it away from the grounds for the year after you win, and when you come back next year, you got to put it in the closet in your locker, and it never goes away again.
I didn't know it.
Yeah, so you get it for the year. So Scotty gets to wear it around. He gets to go on the Tonight Show and all that other kind of stuff. When he comes back next year, he puts it back in his locker, and it stays there until he wins it again. I thought it was a great tournament. It was a lot of fun. You saw Augusta say, we don't like 20 on, because again, the streak was, and the streak continues now, that 6 straight years, the winner has been at double digits. The Masters doesn't like that, man. Those greens are so tricky. It's tough to keep the ball up there. The thing is, you didn't have the race down the stretch that you wanted. Scotty pulled away. Everybody else flustered. They go into the shrubbery there on 12, but it was still fun to watch. Then you talk about Scotty, and now the comparisons to Tiger, right? He's the last, oh God, I'm going to mess this up. He's the last favorite to win the Masters since Tiger. He's the lowest favorite since Tiger's 2008 win at the U.S. Open. Like, just all these things about basically it was him versus everybody. Now, I picked other people. I did. But eventually I threw some money on Scotty because I just
exactly what I did.
It's like a hedge, right? You're just like, I have to because
he was at plus 125 and I got
so good. Yeah, you got to do it. I was actually really tempted to put money on Morikawa going into the last round, but we all know that played out. Scotty is so good. He knows how to play that track now, too. I'll ask you a question I saw on social media yesterday. Over under 8.5 majors for Scotty. So he's got 2. They're both Masters. He's not won another one, though.
Really?
Yeah. His first 2 majors in the Masters. He's not won the U.S. Open, the PGA, or anything else.
I mean, he could still be the number 1 player in the world, Matt, for the next 10 years.
That was another thing about Tiger, was he joined the group of people to win as the number 1. Because he also, when he was the number 1 when he won the Masters the last time, too. And he's 27, right? He's finished second at the PGA and the U.S. Open in 2022. So, again, he's got another 10 years of being competitive.
I'll go over.
Over 8.5? I'm going to take the under. Because think about this. Even if he won 5 more, that's still only 7. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's really tough to do. I guess, we should also the question about if the live guys are going to come back or not. Like, that changes this whole dynamic. And granted, the live guys were there, okay? I get it. Nothing warms my heart than watching Bryson DeChambeau poop the bed.
Yeah.
I can't stand that guy. I really can't. And there was holes that I go, are you trying to screw this up?
Yeah, not a good day for the
Reef
live.
Log had a great tweet where he goes sitting on a couch with like your hand in your pants, go, these guys suck.
Yeah.
Me hacking around in Muni course there in Augusta. Me sitting there going, why'd you hit the ball there, you dumbass? Bryson really pooped the bed there. But yeah, the live guys.
John Rahm, awful.
Good. Same thing. Good. See, Neil Shipley, that Ohio State guy, amateur, got to hang around there, which is pretty cool. I think overall, for being Giant Masters fans, we were big fans of it. The fact that we were able to cash a little bit as well always adds on to it. Oh, should we do golfers? Is there a golfing immaculate grid? I don't know how the hell you would do that.
Horrible at it, but no, there's I don't
like
think so.
Manufacturer and
God,
that kind. I don't know.
We're bad at this.
Yeah,
I'd be no help.
I might be better than what we're doing here, man. We got to step the hell up here.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this. We only get to choose one. We can't switch between basketball and football. You can pick which one, but I'll tell you this.
Can I look at them?
I'll tell you this. The Cavs are in the basketball one.
Do you want to do basketball today?
I'm letting you pick, but you can't change back.
All right, let's go basketball then. That's fine. Because I had some for football. Maybe we'll come. Let's do this one as our official one of the day. I want to poke around on
Cavs
basketball.
are in this one.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Go. All right, here we go. Cavs Raptors. Kyle Korver?
The Kyle Korver?
I don't know. What Raptors player do you think with the Cavs? I know we're missing one there. There's got to be. Are you sure you want to do basketball? All right, let's go the other way now. Let's do 5 assists per game. You can do Fred VanVleet or probably Kawhi.
I feel like more coming to Fred.
Probably more Fred, but I would be shocked if Kawhi didn't have that. Mavericks, Luka. It's got to be John Wall, right? It's got to be John Wall.
Yeah, John Wall didn't play for the Grizzlies ever.
No, I don't think so. All right. Cavs, Mavericks.
JaVale McGee.
I was going to say Kyrie, but yeah, JaVale McGee work. Because actually, would JaVale McGee, would he work for the Wizards?
Yeah, so I'm going to use Kyrie.
Yeah, use Kyrie. Because the other Wizards, oh my God. I don't know why.
What are you trying to think of right now?
Wizards, Cavs. I thought Sagana Diop for some reason worked there, but I don't. Because, that's the thing. I can't instantly right off the bat think of a Cavs-Wizards connection there.
Did JaVale McGee play for the Grizzlies? If not, we can't use him.
No.
I don't think he did.
No, I don't think so. So we picked the Cavs because we're like, oh, it's going to be super easy. Name me a guy that played for the Raptors.
I didn't say it's going to be easy. I said the Cavs are on it.
Well, I know that. Oh my God, there's got to be one. Rajon Rondo? No. Ramon Sessions. Does he work there?
Did he play for the Wizards?
I don't know. I really have no idea.
I don't know.
I feel like there's a big guy that we're missing. I get Z and Marcin Gortat confused.
Yeah, both bald and big and white.
Pretty much, yeah. Ramon Sessions. I don't know why. I feel like it works. It does work. Put Ramon Sessions in there. Now, the Raptors one, that's going to be tough. Are you sure Mike Miller?
I don't remember him in I mean, maybe.
Why do I feel like there's a draft pick that I'm missing in this, too? I want to say Wiggins, but he never played for the Cavs, so that doesn't work.
Never played for the Raptors.
Christian Iyenga? There's a name of the past. I don't know. Obviously, Tristan didn't go there. I keep wanting to say... there's something about Mike Miller or Kyle Korver that keep just gnawing.
I just don't remember Kyle Korver ever playing for the Raptors.
Yeah, and neither did Mike Miller.
Let's go back to when the team was horrible. Like Samardo Samuels.
Right. But
Antoine Jameson. Anthony Parker.
Antoine Jameson would work for the Wizards. That would have worked for the Wizards.
That's
what I'm saying. I can't think of a Raptors player that goes through it with the Cavs. You want to move on and try to find some of the other? Because now we're really in it now. Yeah. Memphis, down the list here, I got nothing.
Did Mike Conley ever play for the Lakers team?
Yeah, he played in Dallas.
Did he?
I
know he played for the Grizzlies.
I could be confusing their jerseys, by the way.
Zach Randolph?
Yeah, you're right. Mike Conley didn't. Grizzlies, Jazz, Timberwolves there for him. Jason Kidd? No. Should have stuck with football, man.
I want to go back.
I guess.
All right, well, let's do this quick then. 3,000-yard passing season. Just want to do Jared Goff.
Yeah, that's fine. C.J. Stroud, Matt Stafford. Am I crazy about Cortland Sutton with the Broncos Lions? Am I misremembering that?
Yes, you're misremembering something.
Okay.
Just think of quarterbacks. Or Broncos, Rams, Von Miller.
Okay.
Right? He played
Yeah.
for the Rams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. I mean, quarterbacks, Josh McCown played for the Eagles. So then I think he played for the Texans, did he not? I know he coached there, but I think he played there.
Didn't Brock Osweiler play for the Texans?
Yeah.
Isn't that where we traded him?
Yeah, just rip it.
Did he play, though?
I think so. I think he had to have.
He was obviously on the Broncos.
Yeah, let it go. All right. I feel pretty good about Josh McCown. Which team do I need there? Texans? Yeah, rip Josh McCown. Josh McCown's good there. Wait, no.
Or Eagles, Texans?
Yeah. What do you mean? Did he not enter a game for them? He'd never played for Houston. He was on the roster. He never played. Damn it. All right, well, you can do Detroit and Eagles for Josh McCown. That works.
Rams, Eagles. Who did I just think of?
Not Brandon Cooks, right? Did Brandon Cooks work there?
No, he didn't
play for the Eagles.
No, I'm thinking of
Jeremy Maclin. Jeremy Maclin might actually work for the Texans. Don't quote me on that. Jeremy Maclin. I know he played for the Eagles.
Sean Jackson. Didn't he play for the Rams? No, maybe he didn't.
I don't know. Eagles, Washington, Tampa, Eagles again, Rams, Raiders, Ravens. Go to Sean. And then
one more.
I feel like there's Broncos, Lions that we're missing in this. Kyle Orton. I don't know why I think that works. I don't know why. Jay Cutler, no, but like I feel like Kyle Orton works there for some reason. Remember Kyle Orton? Kind of. Bears, Broncos, Chiefs, Cowboys, Bills. So obviously you would not have worked there. All right. What are we doing with the grid now? What are we doing?
You need to find
I feel like we got to get better at it. That's the problem. I don't know, just give up and see who it is. We got to start remembering some of these players.
We can get a Broncos Lions. There's got to be one.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Broncos Lions. Like, I don't think Alex Anzalone ever played there. He's there now. A bunch of those guys are already drafted. They're still there. Linemen. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't.
What about maybe a running back? Who's that one dude? It's Royce Freeman.
Philip Lindsay?
I don't think he ever played.
Okay. I don't know. All right. Go see what that one is. That's the one I'm intrigued by. We'll get to time up here in a second.
Jeff Driscoll.
He's another sneaky one.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Ted Bridgewater. Oh, he's probably Fred played for the Lions.
Not many, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is what it is. All right, play it on that. All right, let's catch a break. We come back. Devontae Smith, 3-year, $75 million extension. $51 million guaranteed. Huh. Couple of deals starting to come out here. How did Grayson Allen get $70 million? Good Lord.
Because Matty Sheba just throws out money.
I guess. Again, Devontae Smith, Eagles. Whew. 3-year, $75 million contract, including 51 guaranteed. Does that Jerry Jeudy deal look good for you? Does that look good for you? Jamar Chase needs his deal. Justin Jefferson, all that money, Devontae Smith gets paid. All right, let's catch a break. Oh, Mike tweets. The pick I was trying to remember was Anthony Bennett. And I feel like he did go to the Raptors.
Did he?
I feel like he did. I could be wrong, but Anthony Bennett's the one I'm trying to think of because, yes, he did go to the Toronto Raptors. That's exactly who I was thinking of. Thank you very much, Mike. Give us that on the Immaculate Crib. All right, let's catch a break. We'll get to timeout. We'll remind everybody about our boost coming up. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here in Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, Ted, I'm back. Tell you about time up here on the 15th of April, tax day. Are you good? You get him in?
I think so.
What do you mean you think?
My dad does this. So I hope.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hopefully that's all taken. I know mine is good. Mine are in, but happy tax day and payday. Isn't that ironic? It's all on the same day there. Or at least for a lot of us anyway. But happy tax day and all. Let's head back in time. Tell you what we got, including just 1 year ago today, Ryan, the beginning of the Cavs-Knicks series. Yes, we should have known. Knicks get a 101-97 win over the Cavs this day 1 year ago. Jalen Brunson at 27. Julius Randle, 19. Of course, he's not going to play. And remember, Josh Hart had 17 off the bench to sink the Cavs 1 year ago. For the Cavs, 38 from Donovan Mitchell, 17 from Garland, 14 from Mobley. They did not have another player score in double digits. Karis LeVert was only 1 out of 7 from that game. This series, man, you need Karis to step up. Certainly need Niang, but this roster looks a lot different. This roster looks a lot different than it did just a year ago. Also, what's up with Sam Merrill? Is he going to be all right? We're going to need him for this series, too, I think.
Is he hurt?
I mean, he's missed some games. I think he had a concussion, right?
I don't know.
Injury. 3 days ago, he's added the injury report. Yeah, it doesn't say why, but I know he's been out. But anyway, it'd be nice to get him. It's a neck strain. That's what it is. He got whiplash. That's right, because JB said it was whiplash. That's what it was for Sam Merrill. So he's been out a little bit. Good name for this series, though. And again, 1 year ago today, he started that series against the Knicks. This day, 2022, Guardians officially signed Jose Ramirez to his contract extension, man. Took that hometown discount. I know he wants to be here. We're happy that he's here. And one of those guys, he joins that elite group. He'll never play baseball anywhere but here. He joins a list of some great athletes that have come through here to say they only played for the Cleveland teams. That being said, do you think Jose Ramirez is going to win an MVP during his time with the Guardians? He's been so close.
No.
No, because you think it's the team? You got to have a little team success to go along with that?
Yeah.
I'll listen to that. I will listen to that. Also this day, 2022, Guardians play their home opener, and the Cavs played their season finale in 2022. I didn't look up the Guardians season. 2022.
We lost to the... Did we make the playoffs?
We went 92-70, won the Central in 2022.
We lost to the Yanks. Was that the year?
Was it, or was it that 3 games? Hang on, I'll look it up.
Was it against the... No, yeah.
AKC. All right, wait. April 15th at home, we started against the Giants. We lost 4-1. Zach Plesac got the start, took the loss. Here's your lineup: Miles Straw, Steven Kwan, Jose Ramirez, Franmil Reyes, Ahmed Rosario, Owen Miller, Josh Naylor, Oscar Mercado, and Austin Hedges. Your opening day, or your season, or home opener, excuse me, lineup this day, 2022. Zach Plesac got the start, took the loss. Now, Guardians got into the... Where's the playoffs? I don't know. It doesn't have the playoffs in here for some reason. Hang on. Stand by. Oh, postseason. Duh. What the hell? Oh, no. That was... We won the wild card series 2-0 over the Rays and then lost in the division series 3-2 to the Yankees. So you're right. I was going to say, we didn't lose to them outright. We beat the Rays and then we lost to the Yankees. That's right, in 2022. But the home opener was this day. This day, 2020, thank God the Browns released their new old uniforms. They went back to the new uniforms. See the Jets ones this morning? Apparently Lions got new ones coming too. So the new uniforms came out this day, 2020. We were able to get rid of those monstrosities that we had prior to that. This day, 2018, Cavs playoffs, and we lost to the Pacers 98-90. This day, 2018. Would you like the box score of that game, young Ryan?
Sure.
All right, set I'm back here. All right, Cavs. Previous season. Of course, LeBron's last year in town. All right, 17-18. Eastern Conference Pacers. We went to 7 games against the Pacers. Game 1, again, they got an 18-point win, 98-80. Leading scorer for the Pacers, Victor Oladipo, had 32. Miles Turner, 16. Bogdan Bogdanovic had 15. For the Cavs, LeBron had 24. Larry Nance Jr. had 10, and JR had 15. No other starter had double digits. Jeff Green went 0 for 7 from the floor. Kevin Love and Rodney Hood each had 9. George Hill had 7. LeBron took that team to the finals.
Unreal.
Kevin Love, Jeff Green, Rodney Hood, George Hill, Larry Nance, J.R. Smith, Jordan Clarkson, Jose Calderon, Kyle Korver, the guys that LeBron willed to a finals in 2018, starting their playoff run this day 6 years ago. This day, 2018, the Giants reportedly viewed Saquon Barkley as the near-perfect prospect. They took him, and then they didn't want to pay him. So I guess they don't really think that anymore. I said the Browns should take... Well, here's what I said. I tweeted this out this day. That if they viewed that, then that would tell you that Baker, Allen, or Josh Rosen, 2 of the 3 would be available at 4. And maybe you take somebody else at 1. Now, they ended up taking Baker. Darnold ended up sucking. But if you'd have taken Josh Allen there, could you imagine you go on Saquon Barkley, Josh Allen at 1 and 4?
That would be nuts.
Wouldn't that be fun? But you would not have Nick Chubb. you would not have Nick Chubb.
True.
So, got to take it for what it is. Also, this day, 2017 Cavs playoff opener, they beat the Pacers 109 to 108. You want to go back to that series real quick?
What date?
2017. Pacers, we swept them 4-0. LeBron had 32 in this game to lead the Cavs. For the Pacers, 29 from Paul George. Jeff Teague had 15. Lance Stevenson had 16 off the bench. For the Cavs, LeBron, 32. Kyrie, 23. Kevin Love, 17. JR and Tristan, your other starters. Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, Kyle Korver, and De'Aaron Williams all coming off the bench for that Cavs team. Remember that, man? Good times. 2017 was supposed to be the year you should have won it again. Should have won back-to-back. But that damn Kevin Durant. This day, 2014, Dane Brugler. I don't like doing this to the people out there, but Dane Brugler said he believes Johnny Manziel was to be a top 4 pick in the draft. He said that this day, 2014. Now, I'm not saying that Dane said he'd be good. It's just he was viewing him as that kind of pick. And, of course, it was more hype than substance. Did you have a problem with the Cavs tweeting that picture out of him?
No, I didn't.
Is that where you were going?
No.
Oh, the substance.
No, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Cavs sent that picture out of Johnny Manziel being that. I thought that was a bad idea. I thought that was kind of a bad look there from the line and go, but it is what it is. Obviously a very serious one, and it was, can you believe, 11 years ago today, the Boston Marathon bombing. And I remember following that story. I was in college, and the manhunt after that, they looked for that kid. They eventually found him. Like, I know there's been documentaries and movies made and all that kind of stuff, but just, I remember that. I'll tell you, I'll never forget that day. You want to know why? So I was on the early shift I don't think I was working yet because I was in college, right? So I went and I golfed with my buddy, Tim, out on the east side. We got done golfing, and about the 17th hole, my mom called me to tell me that our dog had passed away. She was old, so I was kind of expected. Then I get in the car to nothing but radio reports about the Boston Marathon bomb. I had no idea. I got in the car, and everybody, they're searching for them. They didn't know where they were. They got away.
Those are the ones that were hiding in the boat?
The kid was, yeah. So his brother passed away, ran over his own brother. You don't know that? So, okay, so they did the bomb. They had 2 backpacks that they put down. They run away. They can't find them. So then through videos, they were like they were gone for like 5 days. They couldn't find them. So eventually they started going through video, and they said, here are these 2 guys carrying backpacks. And then in this video, they don't have the backpacks. They were in the area, and they start sending out and finding out who these people are. Then eventually they get the names. It's 2 brothers, and they track them down. They then unfortunately killed that security guard, took his car, carjacked another person, took them to an ATM to try to get money out. Long story short, they get into a shootout with the police, and the one guy literally, and they're shooting back, throwing bombs at the cops. Guy runs over his own brother, trying to escape. Brother dies. Then the younger one gets away, and in Watertown, they had the lockdown. Nobody go outside. They're looking for him. After the lockdown, guy goes out in the back. He sees the tarp on his boat's disturbed, and he sees blood, calls the cops. Kid was in there the whole time. And now I think he's still on death row or whatever. But I remember it's an unfortunate part of our society. You remember these days, man. You remember, I remember exactly where I was at. I remember watching the news the whole week to see
what year was this?
2014. I'm sorry, 2013. 2013.
12. Yeah, I don't really remember.
You don't really remember?
I don't remember it that much.
I mean, I remember day 9/11. There's so many things, but that was one day that'll stick with me as Boston Marathon. This day 2000, can you believe the NFL draft was this early in the season? But it was, because this day 2000, the Browns select Courtney Brown, number 1 overall. The debate was him or LeVar Arrington. They were both Penn State guys. Courtney Brown was the pass rusher. LeVar Arrington was the defensive linebacker, And they went Courtney Brown. Again, it's like, without the injuries, maybe would have been something, but you never know. Hall of Famers in this draft. Brian Urlacher, the only one, first round, 9th overall, this day 2000 with the draft. And you also got to remember, Ryan, you don't remember what the draft was when you had to wake up on Saturday morning, where the first, second, third, and I think 4th round was all day Saturday, and then 5th, 6th, and 7th were on Sunday. So the Browns were making picks at 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, they selected Courtney Brown. Could you imagine now? It's in the primetime viewing and all that kind of stuff. But that's how the draft used to be. Rest of the Browns draft in 2000. Courtney Brown, 1st round. Dennis Northcutt, who I loved very much, was in the 2nd round. Travis Prentice, Lewis Sanders, Aaron Shea, Spurgeon Wynn, Jawan Dawson, all in this draft this day 2000. But of course, big one being Courtney Brown. This is a big one. This day 1955, Ray Kroc opened the first ever McDonald's in Des Plaines, Illinois. Could you imagine that it'd be something now where you can't go a block on pretty much any street without seeing a McDonald's?
Around the world.
I thought about this for a bracket. Do you want to ask people their favorite item at McDonald's? Have we done that? We haven't done that
There's
before.
going to be Big Mac.
But, like, there's nothing like a fountain Diet Coke at McDonald's. You know what I mean?
McGriddle.
Oh, Egg McMuffin over a McGriddle, my friend.
I
All
get
day.
Egg McMuffins more.
Egg McMuffins are delicious.
McGriddles make my stomach hurt, but they're, oh my God.
You want to do that for our bracket this week? Best McDonald's item? All right, we'll do that coming up in a little bit. This day, 1947, Jackie Robinson breaks the color barrier. He's the first African-American to appear in a Major League Baseball game. This day, 1947. This day, 1912, the Titanic sunk. So we did it when it left. It was on a 4-day voyage, iceberg. We've seen the movie. You get what happened there. This day, 1865, President Abraham Lincoln passes away the day after being shot by John Wilkes Booth. Crazy. There's so many good conspiracy theories. I mean, that's not really necessarily conspiracy theory. Like, we all know what happened there, but President Abraham Lincoln passed away today, 1865. Very happy birthday goes out to former Indians pitcher Aaron Laffey, Antonio Cromartie, Billy Wynn, former Cleveland Brown, Leonardo da Vinci, Seth Rogen, Emma Thompson, Emma Watson, and Chris Stapleton, all celebrating birthdays today. It's a pretty good list there. I got one television show for you. I really highly doubt you're going to be able to get it.
All right, try me.
Okay. It started this day, 1990. It was on Fox, ran for 4 seasons as a sketch comedy show. A member of a very famous family. He's got a lot of brothers.
Is this animated or no?
No, it's a live sketch action, like sketch comedy show. Like, think of it kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway, or like Mad TV, or almost like SNL a little bit. There's a lot of like sketch comedy and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And the creator is a part of a very famous family, and a lot of his brothers ended up joining him on this television show that started this day, 1990. It's going to be hard because a little before your time, the Wayans family was it. So Keenan started it. Damon, Sean, and Marion all jumped in on the show for, have you ever heard of In Living Color?
No.
Okay, In Living Colors, the television show, started this day, 1990. Yeah, I mean, they had Jim Carrey and Jamie Foxx and a lot of famous people who weren't that known at the time in the early 90s, but then they would get on this sketch show and do it like that. So
Can't say I've heard of it.
In Living Color? Oh, yeah, it was a good show. And again, it was like, that really started the Wayans brothers, the Wayans family, because you got Damon, you got Keenan, you got Sean, you got Mary, you got all those guys. Or Marlon. I keep saying Mary, Marlon Wayans. Because Damon Wayans, have you ever seen the movie Major Payne?
No.
Oh my God, that's such a great flick. Those guys made a lot of good movies. Major Payne with Damon Wayans is one of the best. It was so much. If you got a second, you got a weekend there to go catch it out and do it. Well, speaking of time, Ryan, we got nothing but time for our boost. Typico, let's go. Come on now. You have 20 minutes, Betty. 20 minutes. Get your boost in for the Guardians. 11-10. 11-10 they start this morning against the Red Sox. Check it out there. Here's our boost. 3 legs. You need under a run in the first inning. Andres Gimenez hits, and then we'll go ahead there with the Guardians plus 1.5 because the Red Sox are a pretty big favorite, so we'll take it out there and check it out. Again, use that code Fontana100 when you sign up. For new customers, deposit and bet $25, get $100 in bonus bets. Terms, conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER and check it out there. Big wide receiver news across the NFL. We'll get more Cavs tomorrow. I do have the ESPN rundown for the Cavs, but I want to save that for tomorrow to run through their prediction, their biggest questions surrounding them, all that. So we'll get to it tomorrow. Here's the big news about the wide receivers this morning. So number one, Devontae Smith, 3-year, $75 million extension with 51 guaranteed. And that's on top of his 5th-year option. So really, in essence, they're going to keep now for 4. He's through 2028. So they pick up his 5th-year option, and then they also give him a 3-year extension beyond that. So you think about it this. Jerry Jeudy got up to $58 million. And I'm not saying that Jerry Jeudy's in the same conversation as Devontae Smith. I'm not saying that. But, bro, you look at some of the money that's getting thrown around these receivers. You got Jerry Jeudy at the right time. The other receiver news out this morning, CeeDee Lamb is not going to be attending the start of Dallas's offseason program. He awaits a new contract to replace the one he's scheduled to pay a fully guaranteed $17.2 million for his 5th-year option coming up. So he needs a new deal too. Yeah, he needs a new deal too. So you're talking about what? $17, $18 million per year? Yearly cash for Jerry Jeudy. 19, 16, 17 and a half, and then 23 at the end of it there. It's a pretty good deal as it plays. Now, again, I'm not putting Jerry Jeudy in these conversations. Some of these guys, but they're going to get overpaid. Receivers are about to get too paid.
Were they the same draft?
Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith. I feel like that sounds really good.
No. Because Jerry Jeudy's with Henry Ruggs. They were a year apart.
2020 was Jerry Jeudy's draft.
Devontae Smith is 21 because that's after.
Oh, that's right. That's right. 2020 draft was Burrow, Young, Okudah, Andrew Thomas. No, Ruggs was in 2022. 2020 with Jerry as well.
I was like, what?
Henry Ruggs was 12th overall. Jerry Jeudy went 15th overall.
Yeah.
As the wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb was in that draft too.
Yeah, he was the first one.
Because he went 17. No,
he wasn't. It was Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs went
right,
first.
because people were debating which 3. Because Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy both went to Bama.
Right. And then CeeDee Lamb, and then Jalen Reagor, and then Justin Jefferson at 20. Can you imagine Justin Jefferson with 22? The Eagles took Jalen Reagor 1 pick before Justin Jefferson. You know the other one in this? Damon Arnett was 19th overall. That guy has run into nothing but legal problems. I think Damon Arnett, Ohio State corner.
I don't even know
you don't remember him?
No.
He's out of the league, man. I think he made it 2 years with the Raiders. I think at this point he might be a convicted felon. In 2020, injured a woman in a car crash. He allegedly slammed into her car after making a wrong turn on the way to team practice, then left the scene. He then brandished firearms and made death threats in a video released by the Raiders. Arrested in Vegas after that for assault with a deadly weapon, carrying a concealed weapon. Arrested in July of 2022, pulled over and found to have a suspended license. Hours later, he's pulled over again, driving the same vehicle, placed under arrest and charged with possession of a controlled substance, and then arrested earlier this year on charges of methamphetamine.
Nice.
You could add Justin Jefferson, but you took Damon Arnett, who made it 2 years in the league and now is in jail. So that was the 2020 draft there for you. Talking all the way back that. All right, bracket of the week. We'll do your favorite McDonald's. We haven't done that, right? We did fast food.
All right,
we did fast food.
Chick-fil-A won.
It did. So again, we'll send this bracket out. I'll do it after the show. Big play. So again, here are our options. Chicken nuggets, Big Mac, the McDouble, filet of fish, McChicken, quarter pounder, hash browns, McGriddle, egg McMuffin. Then the beverages, like their coffee is legit.
Their Diet Coke's good.
Diet Coke, Fountain Diet Coke there is undefeated. The Orange High C is undefeated.
What about McFlurries?
McFlurries count?
Their machines ever work?
I've done this bracket before. I know I've done this bracket in prior stops.
I would destroy a Big Mac right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't eat McDonald's, but like if I did, like
I just had McDonald's this weekend. My parents came over to watch my son.
I would
watch those.
Smash a Big Mac.
Let's see. I did it 1 year. I did do it 1 year ago today. We'll do it again. We haven't done it yet here on this show, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, check it out there at Matt Fontana Show, at Matt Fontana83. Drop me a follow there if you're ready to go. All right, later today, ton going on. We'll have the Guardians update with Jensen Lewis. He'll join the Big Play Cleveland show later. We got Hanford Dixon. We've got Come Get Some with Blake and Greg Williams. That's all the rest of the night. And then we'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock for more of the Cavs. We'll get ready to go for the Cavs coming up. Browns are into their offseason program. We'll have media availability tomorrow. Got you locked and loaded every single day, 9 to 11, right here on Big Play. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana, and as always, take it easy.